So we're in December right now. It's pretty sunny today, but in the last couple of weeks, we've been in the mid 70s to low 70s for highs. Even had a few days where it didn't even break 70. The nights has been pretty much in the mid 50s to low 50s. Here's an update on some of the trees. These are all on Manila rootstocks. Okay, this right here is a Dolores. Branches are pretty nice right now. This right here is a little gem, which has been one of my most productive varieties this year. There was a cluster right here that I just recently picked. They started getting soft. So this cluster fruited before these right here. So these are all gonna look like they're gonna be nice full-size fruits. These cluster right here, they bloomed earlier and the fruits were mostly kind of nubbins. So this is Little Gem, really nice, nice looking productive variety. And this right here is Super Julie. This year I did get a few fruits from there. It was mostly kind of like nubbin sized fruit. Unfortunately, some were sweet and some wasn't that sweet. So I'm not really sure what happened there. I might have picked them too early. This right here is Sunrise. No fruits this year, but hoping that next year we get some nice flowers and fruits. This is Sweet Tart. Nice branching right now. This new graft here is a lemon zest. The rest of this right here is my California Romit. Next tree. Lots of stuff going on with this tree. So this is peach cobbler. Had a lot of nice branching, but I'm not really sure why the leaves that are skinny. We'll see. I'm not really that familiar with. I haven't really been growing this variety for so long, so I'm not sure if that's normal with the leaves. This right here is ice cream, and probably one out of just a few of my several grafts that is actually doing well. So this one is an ice cream that's really doing really well. Nice branches on here. It looks like it might flower, which is kind of odd. I'm hoping it doesn't flower, but these kind of look like either blooms or mixed blooms. To me, that might happen. I'm not too sure. Okay, this is a Valkyrie. Right here, this branch. This branch right here is a Prom Chimea. I did have one fruit from it this year, so behind this is a Honeykiss. Fortunately, it really didn't do much growing at all this year. Okay, this is Golden Queen, Jetpong, Cat Saigon. Goes by several names. It looks like it's beginning to push some vegetative growth, which is pretty good. I threw on some recent grafts. I'm not sure if it's gonna take. It's been pretty chilly, so we'll see what happens. This one is Ambrosia. Have not picked the fruit yet, but hoping to, maybe in the next couple weeks. I'll just unwrap this to see how it looks like. yeah, it's beginning to develop a more orangey blush to it. So maybe in the next week or so, I'll pick this one. And so this one is ambrosia. It's the it's the graft right here. This little smaller one in front. This is Malika. Got a Juliet right here. This is a diamond. It's growing out some looks like vegetative flushes, so that's good. This is another peach cobbler. This is a pineapple pleasure. I finally got some nice branching this year on it. So this right here is a Safira Lucknow. Really, really vigorous grower. Don't really know much about this variety. This one is Sindri, an Egyptian variety. This is winter, or sometimes called raw honey, from Burma. Have an Alfonso here, and a Harvest Moon. And down here is Maha Chinook. Have 4 really good sized fruit this year. 2 was eaten green, and then these 2 uh, we allowed it to ripe. I did eat one already, so I'm gonna unbag this, see how this looks like. I haven't looked at this in a while. A nice yellow kind of blush. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this. Just to see how it does ripening. I see. Here we go. Here's the fruit. Some fruits, when you let it ripen on the tree, they're not as sweet. So the last maha I had, it was tree ripened, and I thought it wasn't as sweet as what I recall from. So this one, I'm picking this one, still hard and firm, and let it ripen and see how the sweetness develop on it. So this is Maha Chinook. It has this kind of reddish blush on this side. It's all green. There's some slight yellowing. So I think this is going to ripen really nicely. This is the next tree. On this we have orange sherbet right here. There's a Cecilia right here. Super Julie. This is a Giselle Saint Talon / Guava. And down here is an unknown Thai variety. I had this variety for quite a number of years. It produces a green, sweet, crunchy fruit that you can eat green while it's still crunchy, but it's not very vigorous or productive, very disease prone. This was a very late graft, and it seems to have pushed. This is a Maha graft. Okay, this is Malika right here. This right here is a sweet tart. Really nice branching and canopy on it right now. Here's where the graft took place. This is a variety called from Zero called N12. I don't really know much about it. Here's a Dunkin', and was a successful graft this year. This was an ice cream. I grafted this back in 2022, so it did grow a little bit and then it died back. So I don't really know what's happening. It looks like this is gonna die. It's probably not gonna make it. This one's an Angie. I got one lone fruit from it this year, so I'm hoping it's gonna push some vegetative growth this year. But that's Angie. I did get one fruit from it this year. This is a Palm Kai Mayor. This is a Nam Dak Mai Mun. So seems like similar to the Nam Dak Mai number 4. They're blooming right now. So let's see how this goes. This is the first time I had blooms, and I've never tasted Nam Dak Mai Mun. So this will be the first time. If it holds fruit, who knows? It's a bit, what is a bit too cool right now. Okay, this tree right here, a little bit small, hasn't done well just because it had so many failed grafts on it. So that kind of stunted it a bit. But it's funny, kind of beginning to recover from the bad grafts I had on it. So this is Little Gem right here. This right here is an Egyptian variety called Ewise. Another Super Julie right here. This is a Kyler right here. And behind it, it looks like it's about to bloom, or at least this is a mixed bloom. It's a Thai variety that's called Tom Pecan. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't really know much about it. But it looks like it's beginning to either send out blooms or mixed blooms, unfortunately. Okay, up next is one of my favorite tasting varieties I had so far this year. This is ST Maui. So the graft was made last spring right here. So this is like 1 year's growth. So I did have one fruit. This is one more fruit left. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, there's some, could be some signs of yellow blush right now, but because the last one ripened, I assume if I pick this one, it'll probably be ripened too, but I'll just give it like another day. That's Maui. This one's very good, delicious, so very good tasting variety. Okay, this is Iman Basan. Most of this growth was from last year. It's a very dwarf and slow growing variety, so we'll see what happens. But this is a very, very good fruit. I have this as my favorite so far that I've tasted from my trees, at least from not my trees, but from California grown mangoes. Okay, this is Iman Basan. Right here is Sassy Love. Had a lot of nice branching. I don't know, there's a little bit of dieback on some of this, but looks pretty good so far. Sassy Love. This is again my California Gourmet. It's beginning to push, so I think this might end up being flowers because all my California Gourmet is flowering right now. So that's pretty interesting. So I have grafts of it kind of everywhere. So this is my next tree, and this one, it's like the whole tree is in full bloom. Major part of that is a huge section of it is my California Romit, and this tree is a bit further ahead than all my other trees, so it's like a month to a month and a half ahead of most of my trees. My other California Romit are just beginning to flower, so I don't know if those are gonna make it, but at least these right here are gonna make it. My other my other ones of it are grafted on much older trees and are much more larger trees, but unfortunately they're blooming a little bit behind. So on this, yeah, you could see tons of fruitlets already that it's set. Uh, and who knows? I mean, I think they're gonna just make it and hold off till spring. So that's the California Romit, pretty much in full bloom. This one right here is my Dupree Saigon. It's almost like a full bloom on this too. You could see a lot of fruit that's already that has developed. Okay, so this is Dupree Saigon. So there was mostly flower blooms and a few vegetative growth right here. So that's good that I'm getting a little bit of both. I do want some vegetative growth on it. But because the branch is so big, I'm gonna just let it see what happens. If it holds fruit, it holds fruits. This is Bombay. Bombay sent out some vegetative growth right now. This right here is another Jin Huang, Cat Saigon, Golden Queen. The blooms are a little bit late, and unfortunately this year it did not send out any vegetative growth. So this is actually the first growth I got from it, and it's blooms. I'm not really sure what to do with it right now because I feel like if I cut it, come spring, it's going to send out more vegetative growth, and then I have to cut it back even more. So unfortunately, I do not have any idea what to do with these younger, smaller grafted branches that are blooming, which doesn't have much branches or vegetation on it. Just like this one here. This is a fruit cocktail, but look at it. I mean, it's full bloom. I feel like if I cut this back right now, it's gonna just send out more blooms in spring, and I have to cut it back even more. So fortunately, I don't know what to do with it yet. I'm gonna just kind of see what goes. I might change my mind as the months progress. This one's Zebda, no activity on it. This right here is a Hindi Besanara, and another one that has a bunch of blooms. So you can see in the branches right here, they grafted it this year. Again, I'm afraid that if I cut the blooms and then it blooms again in spring, then I have to cut it back some more. So I'm not really sure what to do with it. Maybe I just kind of keep an eye on it, see how it goes. My hope is that I could let these flowers kind of hang and the fruitlets hang until until we get past spring, and then whatever it is, whether it's tiny fruitlets or whatever, I cut it then, and then there's no more blooming and just vegetation. That's the hope, that's the plan, but we'll see. Especially with these new grafted branches blooming like this, I really don't know how to approach it yet. So we'll see. It's gonna be one big experiment. Okay, so this tree, for whatever reason, it's just blooming profusely everywhere. Old grafted varieties, recent grafted varieties, just all of it. Okay, this is the next tree. This right here is Super Julie right here. This below here is CAC, which was the most recent graft on this tree, but it, it grew out really nicely and it's pretty taking quite a bit of the canopy. So this is CAC right here. This right here, you can see all below, all of this below is all CAC. Got your Super Julie right here, and then my cotton candy, which I'm glad I got the graft of this because my cotton candy that was in the ground did die this early spring. So okay, up next, this is a Florigon, and it is beginning to send out quite a bit of vegetative growth, which is great to see. Most of these trees, I mean, I'm not in any rush to get fruits and blooms, but sometimes when that does happen, it makes it kind of hard to, like, you always kind of want to taste the fruits. So it makes it hard to not to kind of thin everything and not try everything. So when I do see some vegetation, it's great. I don't have to worry about the blooms or worry about like trying to see if I could hold any fruits or taste any fruits. Okay, up next right here is Graham. It's grown up quite nicely. I did have one fruit from here, which was really, really sweet. It was surprisingly very sweet. It was probably the sweetest California fruit I've had so far, and it's sweet with some nice terpenes in it. And so this is Graham, and it looks like it's going to send out some vegetative growth. I mean, it could be blooms, but at this point I can't tell yet. But parts of the branches are sending vegetative growth. So that's what I think it might be. Okay. This right here is this right here, sorry. It's a little gem. This one right here is a Juliet. So it looks like it's sending us some vegetation, which is great. I have a lemon zest right here. And this one is my California Remit. Again, it is blooming.